Hey guys, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's Weight Loss Wednesday video, I want to chat with you guys all about junk food. Specifically, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 mind-blowing facts that I learned about junk food that really changed the way I looked at food cravings, food addiction, and everything really. And for me, knowledge is power. I love the fact that one bit of information, one idea can give you a mindset shift and allow you to look at your life and your patterns and your habits in a different way, and it can change everything for you. It can fast track you toward your goals and just enable you to feel differently. And so I love to share my personal aha moments, my breakthroughs, the things that I learned that are super, super helpful for me with you on this channel. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. All right, so the first one I want to share with you that really helped me to understand food cravings and feeling like you're addicted to junk food. And something that I learned was that in nature, fat, sugar, and salt are not found together like they are in junk food. So processed food almost always contains a combination of either 2 or all 3 of sugar, fat, and salt. And this stimulates the brain in a way that doesn't happen when you're eating whole foods, because when you're eating an apple, you're getting this stimulation of sweet. You have sugar, and that's pleasant, but it's nowhere near as pleasant as a Snickers bar, for example, which is dinging the circuits of salt, sugar, and fat. So when you have a combination of salt, sugar, and fat, another example is ice cream. I never realized how much sodium is in ice cream, but when I was a little kid, someone got me an ice cream maker kit, and I still remember being shocked because one of the ingredients was a ton of salt, almost as much salt as there is sugar. So sugar, salt, and fat are basically the core ingredients of most of the junk foods, most of the deep fried foods that everybody loves. So there is nothing wrong with you if you crave these hyper-stimulating foods that are literally wired, artificially processed to get you to crave them and want them. And so you might feel like, well, why can't I crave, a salad? Why don't I crave, a boiled potato? Those processed foods that are oily, sugary, salty, sweet, those foods are artificially manufactured to stimulate all of these parts of the brain that are like ding, 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 this is so exciting, have more of that, have more of that, that the taste of a carrot is so muted in comparison to this, which has been artificially made. And understanding this for me really made me see that, okay, there's nothing wrong with me that I would way rather eat a whole row of cookies than, go make a salad or have a fruit salad. Learning about that was super interesting for me, and it kind of takes me into the next one, which is neuro-adaptivity. So when people ask me, well, why don't you just have a treat once a day? And when they mean treat, it's like, chocolate or cookies or a packaged type of a food. One of the main reasons I don't do that is that when I eat those foods, it makes the healthy food not taste as good, if that makes sense. So let me explain neuroadaptivity. A really good example that Dr. Doug Lisle says all the time, and I really like this one, is, have you ever walked into someone's house and they have a Christmas tree and it smells so strong, you just smell all that pine Christmas tree smell, and it's like, whoa, that's really overpowering. And then maybe you're there for an hour, and then an hour into it, you don't smell it anymore. You don't even notice the scent. It hasn't gone away. You've just neuro-adapted. So your brain has just kind of adapted to that scent, and that scent is now the norm. And so if you are primarily eating a lot of processed and packaged foods, and the next day you go completely on a whole foods plant-based diet, and you feel like these foods are so bland, this is so boring, nothing tastes exciting, wait to see how you feel about the food 2 weeks into it. Once you've neuro-adapted, then a sweet potato tastes sweet. And I used to always say this to Alex. I used to say, dates to me taste like caramel. And he would be like, they don't taste like caramel at all. I'm like, I swear to you, to me this tastes like caramel. It tastes so sugary and it tastes like candy. And that's because I didn't eat actual candy and my brain neuro-adapted to really get pleasure from whole foods and to really enjoy the flavors again. So part of the reason that, I mean, other than the fact that I don't want to eat candies because I enjoy my new food, but if I were to start eating a small piece of cake every day, or like a candy or two, then it's kind of ruining the neuroadaptation process. And I like to get enjoyment from whole foods, from plant-based foods, and for my food to taste good. And so learning about neuroadaptation was super, super informative for me. And another example of this, if you've ever done a fast, say you did a 24-hour fast or a 48-hour fast and you didn't eat anything, you just drank water. If you were to eat a banana after that, how would that banana taste after you hadn't eaten anything for 2 full days? That banana would be sweet, it would taste delicious, you would be so excited to eat it. And same goes for pretty much any other plant food that you would eat, because you haven't eaten anything. So your palate is kind of reset, and now you can enjoy natural foods. So that was the second thing I wanted to share with you. The third one is the pleasure trap. There is a book called The Pleasure Trap written by Dr. Doug Lisle and Dr. Alan Goldhammer. There's also an audiobook on Audible, and I will link them in the description box. Highly, 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 highly recommend this book. And The Pleasure Trap basically explains that in any time in history, the biggest threat to our survival was starvation. So the correct course of action for humans was always to go for the richest, heaviest, most calorie-dense foods, because that would ensure our survival. So if you're living in a Stone Age village and there's the opportunity to eat calorie-rich food, you have avocados, nuts, seeds, dates, you have all this calorie-rich food that is there right in front of you, or you have, celery to eat. Which would have been the better choice that your mind would have told you to make so that you could survive? Go for the rich food, go for the calories, you need them to survive. And so the pleasure trap basically teaches how our brain is still wired this same way, because packaged foods were never meant to be in our environment. Just like cats are supposed to eat certain foods, fish are supposed to eat certain food, a koala is supposed to eat certain food, humans are supposed to eat certain food. And junk food was never meant to play any part in that. Artificial coloring, artificially manufactured foods with chemicals and things like that. We were never meant to eat these things. And so people feel like they're bad, like they're doing the wrong thing when they go and eat, a whole bag of chips. But really their brain is telling them, this is more dense, go and eat those foods. So for me, learning about the pleasure trap was completely eye-opening. I can't even come close to explaining it as well as the authors of the book can, so go read the book. I will put some links to information about the pleasure trap in the description box. And again, information is power. So if you like what I'm saying, then why not check out all the recommended videos that I put in the description box and learn more. And as always, I like to say, do what works for you. You don't have to agree with every word that comes out of my mouth. If something inspires you and you think, that makes sense, I'd like to learn more about that, I encourage you to do so. Go use other resources, Google things, learn things, read things. The more valuable information that you can learn to make the best decision for yourself, for your health, for your life, the better. So I encourage you to go out there and seek the information that feels right for you and to put that into practice in your life. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.